Well, we had hoped to be joined tonight by Lollapalooza founder, rock legend Perry Farrell, but traffic got the best of him tonight. So, unfortunately, he didn't get here in time. So we're going to keep having some fun with Tom Fontaine, who has even more collectibles that we didn't get to. Tom, one of the questions I wanted to ask you that I didn't think we'd have time for is, do you ever encounter people who see these things and say, you know what, this stuff is so important to our popular culture, to the history of popular culture and music, that it shouldn't be in the hands of private collectors. It should be in the hands of a museum.
Well, it's a very good statement. I tell you, there's a couple items actually I had at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I had Elton John's original upright piano he composed all his first 5 albums on, and his jumpsuit that he wore with John Lennon on the very last concert that John did on Thanksgiving night in 1974. So yeah, I mean, there's I've been called by them and asked me, they say, what do you got? And I just have to think about it because obviously it's going to be gone for 2 years. And I'll tell you what, you know, as a collector, I mean, not just because with the value, I am a collector. These are, I'm not saying these are my babies, but this is very important to me. But the fact is, that's why I also do shows. And I do shows like, what I'm wanting to do one day is do a traveling museum and be able to really show it, do a whole speaking engagement about it, and just talk about the art of collecting, the history of rock and roll, because, you know, that's what I know.
Tom, do you have some things that you absolutely will not part with, no matter no matter what the price?
Man, I'll tell you what, that's a good question. Gosh, there's so many. I mean,
Come on, you know, today it was announced that the Getty Museum is returning 40 pieces of antiquities to Italy. Even they give stuff up. But is there some things that are just essential to who you are as a collector?
I will say this, and this was because it was a very special gift. My wife gave me an In His Own Right book signed by John Lennon years and years and years ago, and I knew she had to pay quite a bit for it. And people have looked at it before and said, would you like to sell it?
And what is it again?
It's an In His Own Right book. It's a book that John did in 1964. He did one called In His Own Right, and the other Spaniard in the Works in 1965. And it was signed, it's just, I don't even think the book's hardly even been read. He just opened up, signed it, and put it in. But he did a luncheon in England in 1964 and just signed tons of books, but they're very hard to find now. I usually liked any kind of a gift from family or anything like that.
That you would keep.
Yeah, or anything that I wrote. I wrote to Paul McCartney, I wrote to George Harrison, and I've met Ringo Starr twice, and those are not going to be parted with.
All right.
That's what I want to keep.
Now, you have things from other artists. Tell me about these glasses.
Oh, my gosh, if anybody can guess. Those are Elton John's glasses, and there's the cover of Interview magazine where Elton is actually wearing them. And believe it or not, those little stoplights light up. I haven't put the batteries in them, but they kind of blink, blink, blink like that. But those are Elton John's glasses.
Yeah, you would certainly get a lot of attention wearing those glasses, which I think is the whole point of it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I could go tomorrow at the fest, and all of a sudden I'll be wearing those or something like that, and I'll say, oh, okay, all right, you know.
What else do you have that we didn't get to?
Well, what's really cool is back in 1961.
Wait, we already saw this one, didn't we?
No, actually, no, this was 1961.
Oh, okay.
Albert Marion did the very first photo session of the Beatles of John, Paul, George, and Pete Best. And this is an actual original photograph, and then right below there, down at the bottom, is an actual set of autographs by John, Paul, George, and Pete. And of course, Pete was let go, and then Ringo joined him, I believe, in August of '62. And we know the rest is history. But the Albert Marion photo, though, itself is extremely rare. There's not too many of them out there.
Does your heart go out to Pete Best?
Yeah, it does, actually, in a way, especially because when he was on, I think it was like, What's My Line or something like that, or I've Got a Secret. That's what, I've Got a Secret. And he had to pretty much tell him that he quit the Beatles. He didn't quit the Beatles.
He was forced out.
He was let go. And so that had to hurt. And so this day, I mean, I've seen Pete a few times and met him a couple of times. He is a really nice gentleman. He's a very nice man.
A huge what-if story.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there something that's considered the holy grail of collecting, something that, man, if I could just get my hands on that?
Oh, I tell you, yeah. I mean, you know, anything that was something that was in the studio during the recording or something like that. Like there was a Mellotron of John Lennon's that was in the...
What's a Mellotron?
Mellotron is like a keyboard. It looks just like a piano, but it's got a kind of a pipe organ sound to it. And you've heard it in several different later Beatles songs. And that kind of went, and there was also like John Lennon's white piano, or something like a tape machine that would be like at a record, like say Sun Records or something like that, because that means you have everything there right in front of you that was recorded on that history. You can't get much better than that.
Okay, what else do you have here that we haven't looked at yet?
Well, getting back to the Miami thing, this is kind of interesting because you really don't see too many original snapshots. Those are snapshot photos of the Beatles in Miami when they were down there to do the Ed Sullivan Show. And there's one picture showing the Beatles on stage doing the rehearsal. But the neat part about it, Phil, is on the back side of one right there is also signed by George Harrison and Ringo Starr. And that's this one right there.
Let's turn that around.
Yeah.
And the one right here in the upper right-hand corner?
Matter of fact, it's funny, too, because somebody tried to write John and Paul in there, and I imagine whoever got that just decided, oh, I want all four of them. Well, they didn't get all four, but actually George and Ringo are definitely, that's the real deal.
Hey, Tom, who goes to this these Beatles Fests?
You know what's really neat about it, Phil, is that you know, to keep this alive, it's neat to see the 5-year-olds and the 6-year-olds coming in wearing Beatle T-shirts, and the fathers and the mothers bringing the kids in, all the way up to, you know, 50, 60, 70-year-old people come in. I mean, because I think what's really neat about all the collecting and everything like that is the music. The music, you know, you could put a record on of anyone from, you know, the Meet the Beatles to Sgt. Pepper to Rubber Soul, and it puts you in a different kind of a mood every way.
It really does.
You know what, though? It don't put you in a depressing mood.
No.
It really doesn't. I mean, the songs were really, I mean, some of them were deep, but they were also fun, too, as well.
All right,
great.
And you're fun, too, Tom.
Well, thank you, Phil.
Thanks
I
very much.
that.
Again.
Okay, sir.
And again, Tom, thanks so much for sticking around. The Fest for Beatles fans runs this weekend at the Hyatt Regency O'Hare, and that's our show for this Thursday night. I hope you join us tomorrow night live at 7 for the Week in Review. Joel Wiseman and his panel of top reporters tackle the big stories of the week. Now for all of us here at Channel 11, I'm Phil Ponce. Thanks for watching. Stay cool and have a great night.
Guest transportation for this program provided by AMS Limousine Service.